Okay, I think we're ready to go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's OET official, I'm saying that twice, masterclass with Swoosh English. My name is Scott. I'm an OET teacher and managing director of Swoosh English, and we're one of OET's premium preparation OET providers and OET All-Stars. So it's lovely having everyone in this session today. First of all, can you confirm that you can hear me and that you can see me as well? Please drop a comment wherever you are watching. You could be watching on the Swoosh English channels. You could be watching on the OET channels. I can see all today. So let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me as well. And while we're at it, let me know where you're from. What country are you currently in? And even what time it is as well. I'd like you to put aside approximately 75 minutes for this masterclass that we're going to be doing today. It's going to be a lot of great content coming up. So make sure if you can, you stay until the very end so that we can get the most of this session, get the most out of this session today. And I can see everyone is saying hello. Hello from Meg. Hello, Ingelis. Hello, Himlata. Hello, Renu. Hello, Zel. Hello, Christiana. Hello, Surya. Hello, Ibrahim. And everyone else that's saying hello as well. We got Inder, Shalita, and Sarwati, Paolo, and Busi are watching us on the Swoosh English channel as well. Welcome, guys. Thank you very much. More are surely going to shuttle in as we go on through this session. So you are all incredibly welcome, and I can't wait to have this session today with everyone. Let's just get stuck into it today, guys. So this lesson, of course, is a speaking masterclass today. And what will we be covering? Well, we're going to be covering the OET speaking criteria. It's important that we go into detail about the OET speaking criteria, not in terms of what the criteria is, but explain how you can score well in each criteria so that you can aim your OET study efforts towards fulfilling that criteria as best as you can. We're going to be looking a little bit today about different kinds of questions, as well as offering reassurance and showing empathy. And the main point of this session today, of course, is be listening to OET role plays, and even better, taking part in some OET role plays. We're going to be scoring some OET live role plays today with you guys, and make sure you stick around for a chance to do some speaking with me. And of course, if you don't, well, the benefit is you can listen to the OET role play. You can listen to the feedback that's being given to the student and think about how that would reflect upon your own OET scoring as well. And if we have some time, there will be a Q&A today as well. So we've got a few more students who have joined us today. We've got Shinedu who's joined us on LinkedIn. Hello, Shinedu from Nigeria. Welcome to the session today. We have Roxana has said good morning. Good morning to you, Roxana. We have Arfin has said hello too. And we have Joy with a big long hello. One more, Esther. Hello, Esther has joined us today as well. Welcome to everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. So guys, this is, of course, it's a free masterclass. And the best news is that Swoosh English does lots of free content like this. So if you want access to more expert tips and advice on how to pass your exam the first time, make sure you stay around until the end of the class to find out how you can join our free weekly OET online preparation masterclasses that include exam preparation tips and strategies, tips on all 4 skills, a live Q&A where you can have all of your questions answered by the Swoosh English team, plus other bonuses and surprises as well. So make sure you stick around until the very end of the session today to find out how you can join this free exclusive club of OET masterclasses. So guys, over to you now. I want to just get to know a few of you before we really get stuck into today's session. So I've got a question for everyone. I'd like you to answer somewhere in the chat box, and that is, what do you plan to do when you pass your OET? This is the big thinking piece, your dream, your goal, your objective. Why are you going through preparing and passing this exam and everything else? What does passing OET mean to you? What does it unlock for you What does it give to you? So let me know in the chat box, guys. This is a motivation piece of exercise for everyone today. Get us psyched up and ready to go. What do you plan to do when you pass your OET exam? Please let me know in the chat box and be as detailed as you can as well. Really want to hear from everyone what you plan to do when you pass your OET exam. So we got a few comments coming in already. This is great. We get some people saying, well, I plan to move to the UK and work within an NHS trust in the London area. Fantastic. Keep them coming, guys. Keep all of these comments going. We have Bussy has said to work in the UK. Lovely. We have Joy says, after passing the OET, I'm going for the PLAB. Once you pass the PLAB, Joy, what do you plan to do? Sarwati wants to travel to the UK. Lovely. And Gloria wants to work in the UK as well. You're all pretty adamant that you want to move to the UK at this point. Lovely. Does anyone else want to go anywhere else in the world? Please let me know. We'll take one more comment here. Smiley has said, Smiley with a smiley face, brilliant. I will attend interview and then prepare for the CBT. Once again, Smiley, what do you want to do once you've passed all of those things and what you want to do as well? Lovely comments coming in, guys. Keep them coming. Thank you very much, guys. Now, on to today's topic. We're talking about OET speaking today. I'd like you to let me know what is your biggest challenge with OET speaking. Let me know in the chat box, guys. What is your biggest challenge with OET speaking? Be as precise as you want to be in saying this right now. Do you want to, or do you have challenges with your pronunciation? Do you have challenges with organizing your thoughts? Do you have challenges with your fluency? Do you have any nerves that you want to overcome? Or are you unsure about how to express empathy more appropriately? Whatever it is, how big or how small, let me know in the chat box what we think those issues are. And here we go. We got some candidates are also saying I want to move to Australia and the USA as well. Lovely, guys, lovely. So we've got the comments coming in. Shanrua has said fluency straight away. Yep, of course. Joy has also said fluency as well. Wills has said empathy and cues to give empathy. Smiley has said time management and organization is the biggest challenge for me. Smita has said fluency, and Gloria has said dealing with difficult patients. Yeah, the difficult patients who are going through a range of emotions through their consultation. We'll take one more. Paolo has said navigating through the tasks effectively. Lovely, guys. Regardless how big or how small your problems are with particular parts of the OET exam, they can be overcome with appropriate, I'm going to go full screen for this, with appropriate preparation, appropriate guidance, and appropriate timing for you to take your OET exam. So just keep yourself reassured that all of these can be overcome with the appropriate preparation for your OET exam. So that's some good news for everyone. Okay, guys, question. There are two sets of scoring criteria for the OET exam. Let me know, what are they? What are the two sets of scoring criteria for the OET exam? And let me know in the chat box. Who knows the OET exam like the back of their hand at this point? Let me know in the chat box. Show off your preparation knowledge about your exam at this point. Naomi is straight in saying 1. She's got 1 correct. Naomi said linguistic criteria. Well done, Naomi. Who else can tell me the other challenges, or the other criteria? I'm reading challenges everywhere on the screen right now. There we go. Kayati has also said it, but I can't bring that comment on screen. Who can tell me the other one? I'm going to give it to Inder. Inder has said linguistic criteria and clinical communication. Well done, Inder and everyone else who has said it as well. These are the two criteria, linguistic and clinical communication. And it's super important that we know these criteria incredibly well for your OET. Let's go into a bit of brief detail on the criterion within this criteria, starting with linguistic. And I'm going to go full screen for this so everyone can see clearly. So as you can see, linguistic criteria is broken down into 4 sub-criterion, and they include intelligibility, fluency, appropriateness of language, and resources of grammar and expression. Starting with intelligibility, it's the impact of your pronunciation, intonation, and accent on how clearly your listener can hear you and understand what you're saying. So pronunciation is the various sounds that you make in the English language. Intonation is the pitch at which you speak. Does it rise and fall depending on whether you're asking a question? Are you spacing out parts of a sentence? Are you ending a sentence? Etc., etc. And then accents. Now, common myth about the OET exam perpetuates that accents affect your score. If you have an accent, you will automatically score lower. Well, I have an accent. Now, if I were taking the OET exam, I wouldn't like to score lower than I could. It's a myth. The only reason why an accent may impede your score is because it affects the other aspects of intelligibility, your pronunciation, your intonation, even your speed of speaking. So do not fear about having an accent, but if it is particularly heavy, try your best to minimize it and neutralize it, like I'm doing right now, so you can hear me clearly and understand me clearly as well. That's why it's best to get some speaking practice with an OET expert to give you any indication about any accent reduction that you might need to do, but do not swap out your accent whatsoever. That is not required, guys. Then we have fluency, which is the impact and the speed of smoothness of your speech on your listeners' understanding. Now, when a lot of you think of fluency, you probably think about your speaking speed. If your speaking speed is in any way affected, and it slows you down because of repetition, self-correction, hesitation, etc., you think, wow, that's my fluency, it's being affected. Well, there's also the smoothness to consider as well, aka how well do you join up your various clauses, your various words to keep your speech going forward. And fluency, good fluency is a mixture and combination of the two of these things. That's why I recommend you don't speak so fast to think, I have to speak fast to be fluent. Speak at a speed that you can comfortably speak at, but also keep your speech going naturally as well. And that's why I always recommend you take your natural native language speaking speed and reduce it a bit for your second language, aka English, to get the best of both worlds. Then we have impropriateness of language, which is the impact of your language, tone, and professionalism on your listener's understanding and comfort. AKA, do you sound suitably like a doctor? Do you sound suitably like a nurse? Not too formal, not too informal. And finally, resources of grammar and expression, which is the impact of your level of grammatical accuracy and the vocabulary choices on your listener's understanding. AKA, do you have an appropriate level, aka complexity of grammar and vocabulary, but also are you using the appropriate range as well, a combination of simple and more complex structures and terms to really flesh out your English language skills. Really important you get feedback from an English language teacher on that, an expert OET teacher, and learn what is appropriate, inappropriate in these cases. That's a brief breakdown on the linguistic criteria. Let's now move on to the clinical communication criteria, which is unique to the OET exam. And there's 5 for that, guys. They include relationship building, understanding and incorporating, providing structure, information gathering, and information giving. Now, relationship building is the impact of your choice of opening to the conversation, demonstration of empathy and respect on your listener's comfort. We're going to go into a bit of that in today's session. Then you have understanding and incorporating, the impact of how fully you involve the patient in the conversation, your listener's understanding and comfort. Make sure it's a two-way conversation, most importantly, and get them involved. More about that coming very soon too in this session. Then we have providing structure, aka can you complete the role play within 5 minutes? Can you break down any long pieces of information that you have to give, aka a medical procedure or sequence, explaining a drug type, or giving other detailed information? And then we have information gathering and information giving. How can you ask questions that gets the patient speaking about everything, gathering that information, and then giving the information back, aka giving that back to the patient in a way that's easily understood, and checking for the patient's understanding as well to ensure that everything has been absorbed and the patient is happy with the response that has been given. So there's a good number of things here today, guys. We can't cover all of that in today's session, unfortunately. That's why I recommend that after this session, if you are completely new to OET preparation at this point, you go under a great plan to ensure that you are ready for the OET exam. And joining our free masterclasses, which I'll speak more about very soon in this session, is a great way for you to get introduced to everything and find out what it takes to pass the OET exam, with all of these criteria being fulfilled as highly as possible. So guys, let's now get into a little bit today that we're speaking about rapport, empathy, and reassurance. And these will satisfy aspects of the criteria, including relationship building and understanding and incorporating for the clinical communication criteria. So what is rapport? You have to demonstrate rapport in your OET speaking, and it's a good skill to have in life in general, especially in your clinical practice after you've passed your OET. Rapport is a close relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. So it's developing these relationships where you can communicate freely and openly and for the benefit of everyone else. You want to try and establish rapport with every patient that you deal with in life, and especially in the OET as well. Then we have empathy as well, which is quite similar in many ways, but it's ultimately the ability to understand and share feelings of another. Rapport will include empathy, but empathy focuses purely on sharing the feelings and understanding of each other as well. So assessing any emotions that the patient might have, anger, frustration, shyness, fear, etc., and demonstrating that and making them feel okay about said feelings. So how can we demonstrate rapport and empathy in the OET exam? Well, it's important that we use, of course, direct, empathetic phrases which are associated with given empathy. We learn these phrases, we adapt the phrases, and we use them flexibly, and we use them consistently as well. One that we can say is, oh, I am sorry to hear that. You might have heard some bad information about the patient. They might be upset about something. Oh, I am sorry to hear that. And then include the rest of your clause. I am sorry to hear that you feel that way. I am sorry to hear that you feel that way. I can imagine you are feeling, and then choose your adjective of choice: scared, stressed, anxious, frustrated, whatever you want to say. Direct empathy, making that patient understood in terms of how they feel and legitimizing that it's okay to feel that way. We can even move on and say things like, this must be a difficult situation for you, acknowledging the difficulty of the scenario, making them feel legitimate in terms of how they feel. And then, of course, it builds that bridge to having effective communication with them. I'll just go back. So here's 4 for you right now. Oh, I am sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear you feel that way. I can imagine you are feeling scared, stressed, anxious. This must be a difficult situation for you. So take 4 of these phrases and think about how you can apply them to your own OET speaking in context with the OET roleplay that you actually have. There's a lot more, but I don't want to overwhelm everyone today with using too many phrases. Take these 4 and see how you get on. Then, what else you can do to demonstrate rapport and empathy is open the conversation appropriately in a friendly manner. It's really important that you get the conversation off to a great start, because it assesses really how open the patient can be with you in a real scenario. If you're not particularly open, the patient might be hesitant. They might show even more frustration, and it doesn't help to communicate as effectively as you can. Plus, it helps put you in a confident driving seat if you're able to get it off to a really good start as well. So let's assess 2 sample OET opening statements and think to yourself, which one is more inviting? Which one actually encourages the patient to speak more about the topic at hand? Here we have number 1. Good morning, my name is Dr. Joanne Smith. What is your name? And number 2, hello, I'm Dr. Joanne Smith. I'm one of the surgical doctors. How are you today? And can I check how you would prefer to be called? So think to yourself in the chat box, guys, which one would you like to hear if you were the patient and you were listening to the doctor introduce themselves for the first time, and this person is responsible for your healthcare in this particular instance? Would you prefer to hear number 1 or would you prefer to hear number 2? Let me know in the chat box, guys. Which one do you think is better in this case, and in every case that we're listening to as well? There we go. Yeah, number 2, of course. Number 2 is the one that we want to hear. And now think to yourself, what makes number 2 better? Well, for one, it's just not so clinical. It's not so procedural. You know, you're not doing this job just to tick box and help the patient next. You're trying to help them. So that inviting with the phrase, how are you today? You're actually opening them to talk about their feelings, talk about their day, talk about themselves. And it just sounds nicer as well. How would you prefer to be called versus what is your name? So think about ways that you can open up the patient like you're speaking to a real human being and encourage those conversations. Okay, let's have a look at a second example. Once again, guys, which one is more inviting? Thank you, Mrs. Brown. Now tell me, what has you here today? Or number 2, thank you, John. I understand you have asked to see me as you have some concerns about your operation. I am here to answer them as best as I can. How can I make you feel at ease? Once again, it might be obvious at this point, but let me know which one would you prefer to hear if you were a patient and you were listening to the concerns of the patient, or you are the patient yourself and you want the doctor to serve you as best as they can. Let me know in the chat box, guys, which one is better. Of course, you're all saying number 2. Now think to yourself, once again, what makes number 2 the better response? Well, one, it's longer. It's legitimizing how the patient feels. Okay, I understand you have asked to see me. So legitimizing, okay, I'm acknowledging the scenario, and you have some concerns about your operation. Okay, so you legitimize that they feel this way and it's okay. You're opening the conversation. I am here to answer them as best as I can. How can I make you feel at ease? You're already trying to build that rapport and offer that reassurance and open them up to be as empathetic as possible. So these phrases are just much more opening, they're much more inviting, and they're already doing a good job of establishing that rapport, which you will be assessed on in relationship building. And there's no better way to build relationships than get that off to a great start from the opening phrase itself. So think about that in terms of your own OET speaking. How can you invite the patient to begin speaking from the get-go? All right, now tip number 3 for demonstrating rapport and empathy is engaging in active listening and mirroring responses appropriately. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you should listen to what the patient is saying and use appropriate listening cues. These can be non-verbal or verbal. The non-verbal, I mean, okay, right, oh, things like this. Or they can be verbal. I see, I understand, right. Phrases like this that indicate that you are following the patient along and you are listening to what you have said to them. You can also repeat what you heard to the patient concisely as well, a form of mirroring what they've said, putting it into your own words and saying it back to them to demonstrate that you understand their concern and you're now in a good place to offer advice and give them recommendations on what they say. You also want to check with the patient to ensure the reflection is correct. So asking a short question back to highlight that you've understood what they've said, the patient will then confirm or deny. If they confirm, then you know, great, I've understood the problem in terms of what the problem is and how they feel about it. Now I'm in the best place to give them follow-up advice in the next part of the consultation itself. So how can we do that? Here is an example. The patient might have told you something quite difficult. You're going, right, okay, throughout listening, and then it's your turn to reply straight afterwards. That sounds difficult. So you are telling me that you find injecting yourself with an insulin pen challenging. Is that the case? So you've mirrored what the patient has said, put it into your own words, and you've asked a question to the patient to check that you've understood what they've meant. And you've asked a closed question to clarify that. Is that the case? The patient will then say yes or no, depending on what I've said. More than likely, it's going to be a yes, right? And then you understand, okay, I'm in a place now to give follow-up advice. So this will not only satisfy relationship building, because you demonstrated empathy by saying that sounds difficult, but you've also demonstrated some criteria to fulfill for information gathering and information giving, because you gathered the information and you've given it back and you checked for understanding in this particular scenario too. So it's a great example about how you could phrase your OET in this case. So guys, that's our mini lesson on rapport and empathy, more on reassurance coming very soon. We've now moved on to the part of the session now where we're actually going to do some OET speaking. So I want you to think about those ways that we talked about: establishing rapport, getting the patient off to a good start by introducing yourself well, and engaging in active listening throughout the conversation too. Think about some of those empathetic phrases that we've used. We're now going to move on to our first mock speaking session of today. On the screen here, as you can see, I have some assessment questions. I'm going to be asking you some of these assessment questions at the end of the role play. You can also use some of these assessment questions to assess yourself in your own time. I'll be using these to give some feedback to the person who does some OET role play speaking with me today. So in terms of how this is going to work, guys, in a minute, I'm going to, wrong button. I am going to show a role play card on the screen. And when that role play card appears on the screen, I am going to start a timer for 3 minutes, as you know, preparation time for your OET exam. You're going to see a link appear in the chat box, which will say, doctors or nurses, come join. That is your invitation to come into the class with me and give yourself a chance to do some OET speaking with me. So when you see the link and you want a chance to do some OET speaking, click on that link to come and join. But you must have prepared for the OET roleplay during that time. The preparation time will occur while that link has appeared as well. So you need to confirm with me that you've understood and you have prepared. So what would I like everyone to have for this OET speaking session today? I'd like you to ideally have, of course, a good internet connection, so there's no disruptions. I'd like you to have a quiet environment as well to, once again, avoid disruptions. A camera is brilliant. I like speaking to someone face-to-face versus a voice from the other side of the internet. And just bring your best attitude today to the session as well. That's all I ask for today. All right, so the role play card is going to appear on the screen now in a second, guys. Here we go. The first card is for our nursing candidates. So if you are a nursing candidate, you are invited to join the OET speaking session now. There will be a chance for other candidates to join in the next role plays, but for now, we're just doing nursing at this particular point. So guys, you're going to see the link appearing now in the session itself, and I hope everyone's going to enjoy this session today. The timer has begun, so get yourself a pen, get yourself a piece of paper, and think about how you can start preparing for this OET role play card in this scenario. Think about your empathy, think about your rapport building, think about mirroring and checking understanding via your listening responses as well as everything else that you've learned in your OET speaking at this time. 3 minutes begins. Keep an eye out for the link and come and join me. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back. There is the 3 minutes of preparation time up. Hope everyone is ready to do an OET speaking role play with me, even if you're not taking part, to listen in, reflect upon your own OET speaking experience, and check the advice that's being given to the candidate today, and think about yourself and how that reflects in your own OET. So we've got a few people want to join us today. I'm going to give Sarah a chance to do some OET speaking with me. Sarah, I'm going to add you to the stream now in a moment. 3, 2, 1. Sarah, you are now live. Can you turn on your microphone, please? And if you have a camera, turn that on too, if you'd like. Are you there, Sarah? Okay, Sarah, I'm going to give it to someone else, unfortunately. I'm going to give Saraswati random a chance to... Oh, she's joined.
Difficulties with my...
Oh, hello.
my...
Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Hi, Sarah. How are you today?
So... Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm wasting your time. My internet connection is not good.
Do you want to try and turn off your camera and see if that helps?
All right.
I'd like to give you a chance if we can. Has that improved anything, Sarah?
What? Rainbow.
Sarah, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give it to someone else.
Yes, I changed my connection. Sorry.
Oh, you're completely fine.
All right.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give Saraswati random a chance to do some speaking practice with me now. Saraswati, I'm going to add you to the stream. 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
Good, sir. How about you?
Very, very, very well, thanks. So tell me a bit about yourself. Where are you from? What's your profession? When are you taking the OET exam? And where do you want to move when you pass?
Well, I'm from Nepal and I'm taking my exam on 24th September and I'd like to travel to UK after passing my exam.
Fantastic. So your exam's in 12 days' time. Are you feeling prepared? Good. That makes me really, really, really happy to do so. How are you feeling about doing some speaking practice with me today?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, sir. I was waiting for this opportunity.
I'm very happy to hear that. If you're feeling in any way nervous, by the way, which I think you might be, don't worry. It's completely natural. It's completely fine. Just remember to breathe, take your time, and do your best, and enjoy the experience as much as possible. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Let's get the role play card up on the screen. Here you are. And really, Swati, it's just over to you when you want to begin. We'll start the timer and we'll go through a 5-minute role play together.
Okay, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, just start speaking. I'll start the timer and enjoy. We'll go through it.
Good morning. My name is Saraswati Ramdam. I'm one of the registered nurses working in this children's hospital. How may I address you?
Hi, nurse. Thanks a lot. My name's Scott, but I'm not here for myself today. I'm actually here for my son.
Well, can I know the name of your son?
Yeah, his name's James.
Okay. So, Scott, can I know the reason of your visit? As I can see your son a little worried. You are anxious about your son, little worried.
Yeah, that's exactly right, nurse. And to be honest, I'm just really wanting to see a doctor at this point. We've been here for over an hour and I haven't seen a doctor. And I think my son's having an asthma attack. I'm really worried about him.
Well, I'm really sorry for this inconvenience this has occurred. As the nursing, as the emergency department has been really busy today, and I can assure you that you can see a doctor in a little time. So, before the doctor arrives, could you please explain me about your explain me about your visit.
Right. I'd really like to see a doctor, but my son, well, he's had chest tightness recently as well. He's been wheezing when he's just
Okay.
breathing, and there's just a lot of difficulty breathing as well. I did a bit of research, and it seemed to suggest that he's having an asthma attack. And I'm just worried that, like, if we don't get someone to see him now, that he's gonna potentially be really, really sick.
That sounds difficult. So you are telling me that your son is having chest tightness and wheezing and difficulties in breathing. Am I accurate, or is there something that I'm missing?
No, that's it. That's everything. That's how he feels.
Okay, so Scott, definitely the doctor will be here right here soon, and he will provide a diagnosis, and he will go through your child's condition and through the medical assessment, and then we can find out that what is the actual cause in your child. So before the doctor arrives, is that okay if I could check your child's vital signs?
Yeah, can you tell me what you're going to do, nurse? And also, do you think that he has asthma yourself? Can you tell me at this point?
Well, actually, the symptoms of which your child has been experiencing is little same as the asthma, but it will be great if the doctor will assess your child and see the assess your child and confirm the diagnosis. But let me assure you that you are in a safe hand, and we are here to help you.
Okay, thanks. That's really reassuring. Okay, what vital signs do you need to check, and how will that help out right now? Can you tell me more?
Well, I was about to tell you about this, and I have to check your child's vital sign, which includes temperature, pulse, and respiration rate, so that I can assure you that your child is in stable condition. So, is that okay if I take his vital sign?
Yes, thank you. I understand I'm not going to see the doctor right now, so I'm happy that you're trying to help out in the meantime. So that's completely fine, nurse. Thank you.
Okay, so I for the I can understand that you are very anxious about your child's condition, but please try to be relaxed. That we will be looking after your child, and let me tell you that your child is in a stable condition. His vital signs are in normal range, so there is nothing to be worried. So, Scott, is there anything else you want to be assured about your child's condition?
No, sorry, nurse. I'm happy with that. I understand I can't see the doctor, but thank you for reassuring that everything's going to be okay, and we'll hear what the doctor has to say very soon. Thank you.
Okay, Scott. So, if there is any concern regarding your child's condition, then you can call me so that I can help you out. So, please stay here for the little more, and the doctor will be coming here soon. Okay, is that okay
Thank
with
you.
you?
That's great, nurse. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're done. Well done. Breathe, relax. How did it go for you?
I was little worried. I was little hesitated.
Okay. So what do you think you did well? What do you think you're good
Thank
at?
you. Thank you, sir. Actually, I had no time to practice with my friends for so long time, and so I was a little confused, I guess.
Sure, sure. Well, let me help you direct you towards some good feedback and a few critical things I'll say. Think about these ahead of your exam, okay? So, first of all, were you a clear speaker and easy to understand? Yes, I was able to understand you and follow most things that you were saying. Well done for that. Did you vary your pronunciation, intonation relevantly? I think your pronunciation was mostly quite accurate. A few small things here and there, but nothing outrageous, shall I say. Intonation was also quite good, but I put a little bit more emphasis on maybe rising intonation when you're asking a question and lowering your intonation towards the end of a sentence, but nothing too serious, just to get that across. Now, did you speak fluently and smoothly with few hesitations and false starts? This is where I think you have a bit of work to do yourself. There was a good load of fillers being used, ahs and ums, and you're breathing in, I think. It could have been nerves when you're breathing in before you're thinking about what you have to say next. So think about what you can do in that time to improve your general fluency. I think that your sentences were joined together well when you were speaking. Everything was fluent, but just a good number of fillers being used there. Think about maybe decreasing your speed just a little bit and thinking about your preparation in advance about how you're going to actually do this as well. If you really have to, think about using different fillers instead of and such as, give me a second, I know, phrases like this, if you can. Now, you really want to avoid using these too much because they're still fillers at the end of the day. But if you have to, use a larger variety of fillers. But decrease your speaking speed, get more practice in the same role plays with your friends and teachers in advance, and think about how you can prepare your response in advance to improve that a bit. Was your language and a tone appropriate? That's great, suitably formal for a nurse, and also using some informal phrases there as well. You sounded appropriate. And did you use correct and relevant grammatical structures? I thought there was a nice variation of range and accuracy that was being used. Now, moving on to your clinical communication criteria, did you speak in a way that offered empathy and support? Reassurance was great. I heard lots of phrases, let me reassure you, it's going to be okay, but only towards the end of the role play. Towards the beginning, that is your perfect opportunity to get straight in, because that's when I was much more anxious, right? I felt better with the information that you were giving me, but just let me know from the get-go. I'm sorry to hear that you haven't had your chance to speak to the doctor yet. Sorry to hear that your son feels like this, but I want to reassure you that everything is going to be okay. Let's just ask a few questions now. Get that empathy and that reassurance and that rapport from the get-go. Did you listen to the patient and respond effectively and appropriately? Your mirroring was really good, really good. You paraphrased what I said, asked me a question back, and checked my understanding. Really, really good. You were listening to everything that I was saying, Saraswati, so that was great. Was the delivery of information structured appropriately? You went through the entire roleplay card quite systematically, and every point I thought had a good amount of coverage. And was I ultimately satisfied at the end? Yeah, I was. I thought that you reassured me everything's going to be fine. You couldn't get me to the doctor, but that's something that was never going to happen. But you made me feel fine in terms of we don't think it's asthma. Everything's going to be fine even if it is asthma. Let's check a few things. These are good. Doctor's coming very soon. It's okay. That was the aim of this role play, and you did a very good job of going through that overall. So well done. Lots of really good things in this role play. A couple of things to think about are, of course, your general fluency. How can we decrease those fillers and those ahs and ums and short, sharp breaths to keep the smoothness rolling from beginning to end? How can you keep the empathy and reassurance being demonstrated throughout the role play, not just at certain sections? One more thing I'll also say is asking a few more close questions to check for understanding. You did ask a few, but it could have been more consistent throughout the role play as well. Is this okay for you? How do you feel about this? Etc. etc. But it was a good role play. Just those two key areas to work on. That's what I would focus on, and ahead of your big OET exam in a few weeks' time. Now, I'm going to practice what I preach. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I'll actually, yeah, I think I need a little more preparation, and it was great having this opportunity to practice with you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Saraswati. Just take a note of those things. We've got 12 days left or so. Let's make it happen, okay? But thank you very much for joining me, and good luck with your OET exam.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the session. Okay, guys, so that was Saraswati doing a great job in the first OET role play today. Let us know in the chat box how you think Saraswati got on. Do you think that she did a good job of demonstrating rapport, empathy, and reassurance in the role play? And even think, in terms of how would you have conducted that role play yourself? How do you think you would have got on? So let us know in the chat box. Throw a few comments of appreciation our way as well, and especially to Saraswati, because I'm sure she would appreciate all of your lovely comments coming in as well. There we go. Nice comment saying good, fantastic, good job. So you can take these on board today, Saraswati. Well done. And if you're enjoying this session today, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that appreciate button. You subscribe if you're on YouTube, and you follow us on Facebook as well as OET as well. So thank you. That's the first role play. Before we move on to the next role play, I want to remind everyone, of course, of the fact is that we do masterclasses like this all the time here at Swoosh English. So if you're enjoying this session today, you're enjoying the tips and the speaking practice, and you want more chances to do this ahead of your OET exam, then come and join us for our free online OET preparation masterclasses. They run every week. They include exam preparation strategies and methods and tips, activities to practice all 4 skills, including live mock speaking practice. We have a Q&A where all of your questions will be answered live by the expert OET teacher team and support team here at Swoosh English. Plus, there's other bonuses and surprises as well in our weekly masterclasses. You can probably see how to join. Some of you are asking. The comments are coming through on Facebook and YouTube. There's a link. Click on that link. It says OET Swoosh Masterclass Invite. Click on that link right now and get signed up to our next masterclasses. In terms of other ways that you can join, well, if you're watching on YouTube, the link might not be appearing. So how can you join on YouTube? Well, you can see that when you're on YouTube, there's a show more button just below the video. Click on that button that says show more in the description. Then you will see the description, and there is a link in the description section. Click on that masterclass link that you can see in the description on the Swoosh English channel that says Swoosh English Masterclass. Click on that link to bring up the screen to get signed up to the masterclass. And if you're watching on the OET YouTube channel, it's similar. Click on the link, the masterclass link that you can see here that says, want more great content? Join Swoosh's free OET preparation class. And that is the masterclass link. Okay, now if you're watching on Facebook, of course, you can see in the description once again that it's right there, OET Masterclass Invite. That's in the description itself. Also check out the comments. These are all appearing in the comments right now. So check out the comments where, if you're watching on Facebook, and clicking the link that is now appearing inside those comments. Okay. So once you're on the screen with the masterclass screen, you will see something like this. Input your best name, input your best email, click on that big orange button that says secure your free space, and you'll get signed up to our next masterclass that there is. And there's actually one coming up today. More about that to come very soon. Alternatively, if you can't click in the link for whatever reason, or you can't find the comment on Facebook, or you want to sign up later, give our team an email, inquiries@swooshenglish.com. That's inquiries@swooshenglish.com, and write masterclass in the email. So send the email to inquiries@swooshenglish.com, write masterclass, and our team will help to get you set up today for our free OET masterclasses that we run very, very frequently. The next masterclass is actually later on today, guys, if you have some time. So it's now 5 minutes to 10 a.m. UK time. So the next masterclass, which is writing, is today at 3 p.m. UK time. That's in 5 hours. So if you are free in 5 hours time, our next masterclass is in approximately 5 hours time. But we run masterclasses all the time if you want to join. So clicked on that link, get signed up today, and then you're signed up for all the great content that we're doing at Swoosh English. Look forward to seeing you in those masterclasses. I do host them, so I can't wait to see you in them for more OET preparation advice. So guys, let's now move on to our next mini lesson. We've talked about empathy, we talked about rapport. Let's now talk about briefly how we can offer reassurance in the OET exam. And I thought Sir Swati did a great job of offering reassurance. Now, what is reassurance? It is the action of removing someone's fears or doubts. So taking away any fear that a candidate might have about something. In the previous role play, I, as the parent, was fearful about my child's health. We want to try and remove those fears as much as possible and reassure them that everything ultimately is okay, if the situation allows it, of course. Now, how can we offer reassurance? Let's learn a few useful phrases that we can do to offer reassurance in the OET exam. Simple one, let me reassure you. Let me reassure you that everything is going to be okay. For example, we can say, it is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to worry about. A bit more informal, but also very nice and very appropriate to use. There is nothing to be alarmed about. You can even switch that verb, alarm, to concerned about, scared about, worried about. Whatever you want to do, there is nothing to be concerned about. For example, don't worry, you are going to be fine. Don't worry, it is going to be fine. Don't worry, your son is going to be fine. Don't worry, your mother is going to be fine, etc., etc., etc. So I think we got one more. Rest assured, you will be okay. Rest assured, you will be fine. Rest assured, you are going to be well, whatever you want to say. So here are 5 phrases that we can use to offer reassurance, to remove the doubts or fears of the patient. Take a note of them. Think about how you can use them. And if you want, even practice a few of these phrases in the next OET role play that we will be doing now, or better yet, use them in some OET speaking practice in our free masterclasses or our preparation courses here with our expert teachers at Swoosh English. So let's now move on to our second role play of the day. This one is for our medicine or doctorate candidates. So like last time, guys, there's going to be a link appearing in the chat box on Facebook, on YouTube. Keep an eye for that link. It'll say, doctors, come join. Click the link, come into the studio, have a good working internet connection, good audio, quiet environment, and a lovely if you had a video as well. So I could actually speak to you a face than the voice in the internet, so to say. So keep an eye out for that link, but we are beginning our preparation time now, guys. So when you do join, make sure you are ready to go if I turn on your camera and join you when you start speaking straight away. So the preparation is beginning now. Everyone will have 3 minutes of preparation time as you do for the OET speaking. while you're preparing, clicking the link to come and join us, and I will see you all in a moment. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the studio. Click in that link, come and join us. Keep an eye out for it in the comment box, and I'll see some of you very, very soon. Enjoy. Okay, guys, 90 seconds of preparation left. 90 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And there we go. Preparation time is up. Don't worry, I will put the role play card back on the screen now whenever our next candidate gets a chance to do some speaking practice. So who am I going to choose to come and join me today in the session? I'm going to, because she's the first one, and I'm going to give Sheko a chance to do some speaking practice with me now. Sheko, I'm turning on your camera. 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hi, Scott. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and it's nice to meet you as well. Tell me a bit about yourself.
I'm a doctor. I'm an international medical graduate, originally from Iran, but right now I'm living in Canada, Toronto.
Congratulations on that. And what are your plans when you take the OET exam? When are you taking it? Are you feeling prepared? And what do you plan to do when you pass your OET?
Sure. My exam will be in 2 weeks on September 23rd. And after that, I want to apply for the family physician spots in Toronto, anywhere, in Canada, in any province. Hopefully, I will be accepted and start my work. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, congratulations. Sounds amazing. Are you feeling prepared at this point for the OET?
So I'm trying my best. I'm feeling prepared. Half, maybe. Yeah, I mean 50%.
50%. Well, let's try and get you to 100%, shall we, in
Thank
the next
you.
couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
let's give you a chance to do some speaking practice now. So are you feeling prepared to go and do speaking practice with me?
Yes, for sure.
Fantastic. All right, let's get the card back up on the screen. Check. Oh, here you go. Here's the role play card. I got my own in front of me as well. So whenever you start speaking, I'll start the timer and we'll go through a 5-minute role play together.
Sure, I'm ready, Scott.
Excellent. Start speaking and we'll get going.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Shekufe Shirani. I'm the physician in charge today. May I confirm your name, please?
Hi, my name's Scott. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Scott. Nice to meet you too. How would you like me to address you?
Well, you can just call me Scott, but I'm actually here for my son Matthew today, as you can see.
Okay, you are here for your son Matthew.
Yeah.
How can I help you today, Scott?
Well, it's a good question. I'm actually following up from an emergency consultation I had a couple of days ago at the hospital. Matthew was newly diagnosed with asthma. And that's quite a scary thing because I've been experiencing this for the last few months. I'm just here today to find out more about asthma and to find out what happens next now with managing this condition.
First of all, thank you for coming. We are here to support you. And it has been a very wise decision of you that you came here today. And so sorry to hear that you are so scared. And you told me that, yeah, it's a reasonable concern because your son has been diagnosed with asthma. But there's nothing to be worried about, Scott, since asthma is a condition that if you manage it and you know what to do for the treatment and management options, and also what to do in any emergency symptoms when happen. So it's a manageable condition, and we are here to help you. Actually, to what extent do you know about asthma, Scott?
I don't really know much about asthma, to be honest with you. And I guess my question would be, is this going to be, can you explain briefly what asthma is? And also, will Matthew always have asthma or can it be cured?
Yes, for sure. Asthma is a condition that in this condition, the narrowing, the airways in the lungs and also in the body, they will be narrower than normal. And in that way, there are some consequences of this condition, like shortness of breath, cough, and some other symptoms. Also, it's not a curable condition, but it's a manageable condition, Scott. There are some treatment options, and may I proceed? Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah, there are some treatment options like some puffers, like salbutamol. There are some medications, and also there are some triggers for this condition. Do you want me to proceed and tell you about the triggers of this condition?
Yeah, I think I'm quite aware about that, like breathing and wheezing, etc. I've experienced that before, but you can tell me a bit more and tell me more about treatment as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as I told you, whenever you see these kind of symptoms, as you told, in your son, Matthew, you should right away, please use the puffers. And also, if you see that he has emergency symptoms like very severe shortness of breath, or you see that, for example, his lips or his face is darker than normal. So these are kinds of cyanosis. You can right away call 911 and bring him to an emergency department. Also, avoiding the triggers of this condition, like avoiding molds, some kinds of pets, and some kinds of allergens in the environment, can prevent the asthma attacks in future. How do you feel about it, Scott?
Well, that would be, it's good to know about these controlling triggers that can help me assess the scenario as we go on.
Yeah.
what would I do if Matthew has a severe asthma attack? What would be the standard procedure then?
Okay, first of all, you should, I mean, it's better for you to make sure that also the school are aware about his condition, and there is the salbutamol puffer with him always, and also at school, that and also with you. So right away, please use the puffer, salbutamol puffers, and if you are not aware of how to use it, I will give you some pamphlets, and I will introduce you some websites that you can read more about it. And please feel free to contact me and contact our office anytime you want. And then please right away after that immediately call 911, an ambulance, and take him to the emergency department. And at the hospital, they will supply some oxygen for him, also some other kinds of treatments. I mean, some intravenous treatments and some other treatments to rescue him. But the good thing is that I want to reassure you is that the prognosis of this condition is pretty much good if you are aware of the triggers and how to manage the triggers, and also if you know how to manage this condition if the symptoms are very severe. So don't worry, and I wanted to tell you that we are here to help you. So is there any other concerns, Scott, that you want me to proceed and address?
Thank you. That's great, Dr. Shekel. Thank you very much for your time today. I feel much more reassured about how to deal with asthma, and I feel happier now that it is a manageable condition and we can get through this. So thank you for your advice today.
I'm so happy, Scott. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. And that is the role play. Well done. How do you feel doing it?
Actually, I'm so happy that you gave me this great opportunity, Scott, because I'm following your channel on YouTube, and I'm watching lots of your videos for writing, even speaking, and but I'm not sure did I do it well today or not.
Well, let's move on. Thank you for following us and enjoying our content. Let's go through some feedback today for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to keep your feedback really focused, to be honest, because I think you did lots of really good things. You're a great speaker. You're very easy to understand. Your pronunciation and intonation is great. A few small errors here and there, nothing major. You're fluent. You're smooth. You use the appropriate language and tone. I think you use a good range of correct vocabulary and grammatical structure. I only really picked up one small error, and that was you said they will be narrow than normal. That's a comparative, so narrower than normal. Small. Linguistic criteria was great. Really well done. I think you did a really good job offering empathy and support, listening appropriately, structuring the information, and ultimately I'm satisfied with the outcome. I'm going to just zoom in on a few things here I think you could improve. Firstly, the role play was 6 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's significantly longer than it needs to be. So think about when you're delivering your information, how we can make it more concise, okay? You've got about 40-ish seconds per point before you have to move on. And it includes your intro and your outro, which were great, by the way, really good.
Thank you.
I think that you were good at demonstrating empathy and getting me involved, but we need to do it more often. There were times where you were speaking for 2 minutes before you got me involved in the conversation. So how can we make that more concise, break down that information and get the patient involved? Don't forget, you do have to understand and incorporate, which means creating a dialogue too. So how can you create more openings for the conversation in your speaking structure? And what else did I write here? You missed one point in the role play, Cara. I'm just going to go back on that. I think you did a pretty good job of covering most things, but the last thing you had to do was support by developing an asthma action plan and arranging an early review. I was going to ask about that. Can you help with anything else? But I realized that would probably take the role play up to about 8 minutes. So I thought we have to move on, unfortunately. So just be aware that you're getting all points of the card and of the role play card covered. Everything else was pretty good, but that part was just missing a little bit. So that would be the 3 things I would really like to think you'd be very, very focused on, Sheko, is your time management, because the role play will be around about 5 minutes. If it goes significantly over, then it will be cut, and then you might not have had a chance to demonstrate all the criteria in that time. So you want to do all within the 5 minutes. You don't lose points, by the way, for being cut off automatically. It's only if you haven't demonstrated the criteria in that time. Think about condensing your speaking sections, getting the patient involved by asking more questions and more often as well. And that will satisfy your information giving and your information gathering criteria a bit better as well. So that would be the things I would really think about in your next OET speaking practice that you do. How is that for you?
Thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate your suggestions. But I have a quick question, Scott, please, if you don't mind. Do I have to address, all the tasks, complete all the tasks in the speaking part?
I would recommend that you do, because you are obviously assessed in one criteria, and I'll go back to that criteria just quickly here. Give me a second. I'm going all the way back to this. Give me a moment.
Thank you.
If anyone's watching, you're just seeing everything appear on the screen here. Okay. And that is providing structure. Providing structure also talks about how you organize the information. And organizing the information means addressing all of the points in the card as well. So if you do miss something, like talking about the action plan, that could affect your score for providing structure. So it might not, it might not be the result between a passing score and a not passing score, but it could be. So if you can, address everything on the role play card as best as you can. Okay.
Thank you very much. And if you don't mind, I just one other quick question.
Sure.
Thank you. Do we have to, like the writing part, do we have to use some, difficult words, and also some complex sentences, or no?
You do have to use a variety of complex vocabulary and complex sentences at a certain level, because you're assessed on, your language score assesses your range and your level. So you do have to use an appropriate range of complex sentences. But of course, the best way to know if you're using that appropriate range or not is to get feedback from a teacher, because you might be using, as long as you're using it quite accurately and quite complexly, that's the most important thing. Okay.
Thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much for taking part in the role play, speaking with me today, Dr. Sheko. Wish you the best of luck with the next stages of your OET preparation, and good luck in your exam.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay, guys, and I hope that you enjoyed that second role play that we did today. Please let us know in the chat box how you thought Dr. Sheko got on. Give your own feedback to her too. Give her some words of encouragement as well, and reflect on how well that you even think that you did in the OET speaking. You would have done in that OET speaking role play as well too, guys. So looking forward to seeing some of your comments, and thank you very much for joining me today for this session as well. I'm just going to finish up now. Lovely comments coming in, guys. Thank you so much for these that are coming in. Let's just finish off by telling you a bit more about how you can get even more support here from us at Swoosh English. Give me a second. I'll just bring this up on the screen. Here we go. So just what's really important to finalize this session today is that our two students, Swati and Sheko, got advice from expert teachers on their OET speaking and their OET writing. How do you want to pass the first time? Well, it's important that you first of all have the motivation to succeed, and I can see that most of you do. You have your dream, you want to fulfill it. You give yourself enough time for OET preparation. If you haven't booked your OET exam at this point, I recommend that you don't book yet. You only book your exam when you know you are ready. And you'll know when you're ready because you have applied all of the tools, your classes, your feedback, your video courses, your mock exams, and then got feedback and support from expert teachers to assess your scores. Only when you're getting the scores that you need consistently do you know that you are sure to take this exam. So just think to yourself, do you have all of these? And if you don't, think about how you can get some of these to pass the OET exam with speed, more certainty, and with ease as well. And a great first step today is not only just coming to this session today, guys. This was essentially a free preparation class. If you're looking for more expert tips and advice to pass your OET exam first time, then get signed up to Swoosh English's free online OET preparation masterclass that we run every week to get free exam preparation tips, strategies, methods on all 4 skills, a chance to get feedback on your OET speaking and writing, etc., to have your questions answered live by me and our other expert OET teachers every session, plus other bonuses and surprises. Every session is different, and I'm sure you will enjoy them. So how do you join these sessions? Well, once again, if you're on YouTube, click on the link that says show more in the description. So click the link that says show more in the description. Then click on the link in the session that says Masterclass link. So click on the link that says Masterclass, and that will get you signed up to our free Masterclass page. So get clicking that link right now, guys, to get signed up for our next Masterclass, which actually is later on today. More on that coming in a little second. Now, if you're watching on the OET channel, it's quite similar, but Facebook is the exact same thing. Click in the description that says OET Swoosh English Masterclass invite right here. I'm also dropping the comments into the Facebook and YouTube sessions that you're watching on OET and Swoosh English. So check out those comments. The links are appearing right now to get signed up. So when you click in that link, you'll see a page like this. Just input your name, input your email address, and then click that big orange button that says secure your free space, and voila, you are in our next writing masterclass today, or other masterclasses that we are running as well. Alternatively, if none of that's working for whatever reason, take a note of this email address, inquiries@swooshenglish.com. That's inquiries@swooshenglish.com. Click it, take a note of it, guys. Write masterclass, send an email to our team, and our team will help get you set up for the next masterclasses. Remember, they are completely free. They're quite often, and it's more of a chance for you to enjoy sessions like this with advice and tips and feedback from expert OET teachers. So one final reminder, inquiries@swooshenglish.com. Write masterclass in that email, send it to our team, and we will help get you set up ASAP. A reminder that our next masterclass is today in just over 4 hours time. It's now 10:22 UK time. The next session is at 3 p.m. UK time today, and it's our writing masterclass for a chance for you to get some writing feedback. So if you're around, come and join us, but click in that link right now to get signed up to our free OET masterclasses and make the most of Swoosh English's OET preparation. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this session today. Thank you very much for joining. Congratulations to our O2 OET speaking students today as well, and I wish them the best of luck with their OET preparation as part of this session and beyond. And thank you, everyone, for joining me today as well, taking part in this session, and I hope that you got lots out of it. I wish everyone the best of luck with their OET preparation, and I hope to see more of you with OET Official in these monthly sessions that we do, but even more of you in our free Swoosh sessions that we run every week as well. So make sure you get clicked and signed up to those free masterclasses ASAP. I'm Scott from Swoosh English. It's been a pleasure seeing everyone today, and I hope to see more of you very, very soon. Take care. Have a great day, everyone, and good luck with your OET preparation.